To start our show today, we are honored to start with our first interview dedicated to the enduring legacy of Brad Sousa, a visionary in the AV industry whose impact and innovations have truly left an indelible mark. We're joined with some of our industry leaders who knew him best: Christiano, Mazza, Bren Walker, and Joseph Valerio. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. How are you? How are your feet? First off,
great.
That's always the question here at Infocom.
Sandals.
Good.
Easy.
There you go. Good. Are you enjoying the show? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a great show.
This show is fantastic as always, and it's just there's never enough time. That's the only thing.
Never.
You have never enough time to see the tech, to see the people. So always at the end of it, I'm always ready for next year.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. So each of you had the wonderful opportunity to know Brad Sousa. So if you could share with our audience, just each tell us a little bit about your relationship with Brad and how you got to work with him so closely.
Sure. So this is my second year as a member of the board of directors for Avixa, and Brad was my board buddy for my first year. And he guided me in ways that I didn't expect. And he made the experience of being on the board something that, you know, when you're doing something you never know how it's going to go. And it was with people that I didn't know. And within like 10 minutes, I felt like I knew Brad forever. He just had great wisdom, advice. He was so supportive, and just he was such a welcoming person. And as I talk with other people about Brad, the one word that always comes back is that he was welcoming. He was welcoming. Mm-hmm. He had an open heart. He had an open mind. He had open arms to ideas and to people. And I just can't say enough about the impact that he made on me, mm-hmm. which is why I'm so supportive of the Impact Fund.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you, Brad. Cristiano?
So I'm serving as Avixa Foundation Chair, and last year Brad was director of the foundation, and we were working together in the genesis of the apprenticeship program. And yes, he was always very generous, and he wanted always to teach something to us in like a smooth conversation. In 1 minute, he could make you feel like you just got a best friend, you know, a mentor. And yeah, last year I remember I was talking with him about a business canvas that we do all the time for tasks and everything else. And I always started in one way, doing from left to right. And you know, it's kind of common, everybody do like this. And he asked me, Chris, do you mind if we change a little bit? So he did the opposite. He started on the back part, on the right side, and it feels so perfect. It was so much easy to fill the canvas. So yeah, it was great, and we learned a lot with him. In Brazil, we used to say, "Os melhores vão primeiro," and it means the best go first. So it fit perfect in his case.
Oh,
That's fantastic. What amazing things to be said. It's so cool, and so amazing that his legacy is living on, and we're continuing to talk about him and all the amazing things that he did. And through the Impact Fund, that's not going to stop. That's going to carry on. Joseph, I know that from the Avixa side, you're very involved with the foundations. Why is the Brad Sousa Impact Fund so important to our industry?
I think, Ben, it starts with Brad as the human being who always really guided himself and the people around him to understand that human impact is really where people and technology meet. And that is, to me, what a lasting legacy can be. And yesterday was actually his birthday.
Wow.
So in many ways, he brought us together here at Infocom. He continues to have a lasting legacy in that regard. So the fund to us as a business and as an industry is a way to continue the profound legacy that he put forward in the way that he lived his life and the way he impacted communities by giving funding to people who are seeking to better themselves and the communities around them through educational and vocational outcomes, to community programs or organizations that are helping change the world around them through the work that they're doing. And we'd also love to help fund other programs that associations and other partners out in the world can be doing to elevate their work. And so in that vein and that aim is why we hope to impact the communities around us using the sort of the connection between AV technology and digital transformation that is used to benefit society in a really positive way. And I'm very pleased to say that through the help of AVI Systems and their wonderful partners, we have already raised and pledged from the industry over $120,000 towards this goal. And we will continue to do so for years to come in Brad's honor, and use that money in a very, very positive way to impact the communities in the world that Avixa finds itself and our members in our industry find themselves.
That's incredible.
Excellent.
And Bren, I know
Excellent.
you've talked about Brad, the man himself,
Yes.
and what he means to you, but what does the Impact Fund mean to you?
I think it strikes directly at the heart of what we're facing as a challenge. And we're not the only ones facing it. It's workforce development. And workforce development ultimately comes down to human impact and finding people who want to do something different. They want to make a change in their lives. They want to improve their situation. AV as an industry can help people do that. I tell people all the time that working in AV, you can have a beautiful middle-class income, and you relieve the basic pressures that people often feel. And this fund, without having to necessarily expend a lot, but just focusing it, and that was one of the things about Brad. He would say it was more important to have an impact than to influence. And impact means you're directly making something happen. It might even be the smallest action. A $500 gift to a girl in India, she could become a designer 2 years later. We need that girl in India to be a designer with us, right? We need that young man in Indiana who's working at a fast food restaurant to make the transition to doing installation. We need them as a part of our business. And I think Brad, the way that Brad thought about things, at least as I understood him, is that the door was open for everybody. And I think the fund will do that in terms of increasing how many people come through the door.
Fantastic. And Christiano, if you'd like to talk about how it's impacted you.
Yeah, inside the Avixa Foundation, we have a scholarship program that works for students, and we develop an apprenticeship program that works for companies and employees. So it was missing a third part of that tripod that goes for initiatives. So there are so many good initiatives all around the world that we can help with this fund to bring more people to our industry. Avixa Foundation goals are to talent acquisition and workforce development. So it just go perfect in our strategy to just fix some of the issue we have with workforce development all around the world.
Wonderful. And then, so Joseph, for people who, maybe are just learning about this fund, how can they help contribute to it?
One can actually contribute dollars and cents if they wish, which we hope they do. No matter if you're an individual or a company, we're welcoming all people in our community to donate directly on our website. We have a beautiful space there to learn more about Brad and the fund itself and the impact initiatives we're hoping to fund. And also that's a great place for people to share places and communities and people who might be making the difference in the world who could use that funding. So it's in some ways twofold. We're hoping to receive funding, of course, to keep this program going over years to come, but also tell us who's out there in the world doing this work who could use some support. And again, Brad thought that everyone had a superpower that could be unlocked, and we believe this is the way that we can really make a big impact in the globe through our community.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you. I mean, talking about impact, it's the Impact Fund. It's an incredibly impactful thing that you guys have done, coming here and talking to us. It's a little bit too early for all this. I'm feeling a bit emotional. Thank you so much for coming on and spreading the word. I know we spoke with Martin Saul last ISC about the Impact Fund, and we've done it today. We'll keep talking about it all throughout the years, and always on Avixa TV as well. But thank you for being the voices of Brad today. It's an absolute pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you around the show and all over social media, hopefully as well, continuing to promote this amazing cause. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.